Okay. Hey, good afternoon and happy Labor Day. Today, this is another edition of Testing in the Dark on ToutSuite Social Club. Couple of people that we already know, and one person that is totally new to the exercise, and we're gonna go directly to her. And Julie, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit who you are and what you do.
Sure. My name is Julie Dalrymple. I'm the marketing director at the Napa Valley Opera House. I've been in the Valley for about 3.5 years. I love my wine, but I don't work in the industry, so I'm kind of the one coming in with the clean slate. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about it.
Nobody here has a clean slate, Julie.
Fantastic. And Boris, a little bit more.
So my name is Boris Guillaume. I also live and work here in Napa. I'm in the wine business, and I sell mostly French wines these days to mostly the Asian market, but I also always looking forward to trying some domestic wines, and I'm up for the challenge today.
So here we go. And of course, the infamous David Bridges. David, remind us a little bit what you do.
I come here. I'm a world champion chili chef. Competed with the folks from ToutSuite.com at the Napa Chili Cook-Off. Of course, they won the chili trophy from the judges, but the people's choice was the chili produced by my daughter and I and our team. And I sell real estate here in the Napa Valley. So if you'd like to buy real estate here in Napa, Vineyard Winery, DaveBridges.com. So do that.
So here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the rules. No talking for 15 minutes. You're going to pour yourself the first flight. And the second flight, please start that. And so you have 15 minutes for that. No talking. And that's about it. So I'm going to just wait a little bit to give you a head start. Number one is being poured. And David is I was going to say he was a gentleman because he was going to pour to Julie, but not really. So, all right. And so let me, sorry, I'm going through the cameras here. This, number 2, and number 3. Go ahead, Boris. Okay, and we have... Okay, no more talking, guys. Ready? You have 15 minutes. The second flight, you have to pour the second flight yourself as well. No.
You don't want to tell them anything?
No.
Wow, big surprise.
Okay, here we go. So, hey, Garret. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Garret Murphy, and he's a proud owner of Vintner collectives here in Napa Valley. And tell us a little bit about the story of Vintner collectives and where you are located and how long you've been in business.
Well, my name is Garret, and you'll be finding very strange that I have a French accent, but I grew up in France when I was a kid. Came back when I was about 18 years old and worked in the hotel business for a long time. I was a chef until about 94 when I arrived in Napa Valley. At that point, I was consulting in the hotel industry, and I got myself very interested in the wine business. And I started working for a winery for 6 years, worked all the different areas, production, front end, marketing, and so forth. And then I realized there was a real need, for small producers to have to get together to compete against the giants. Because, obviously in this country you have a 3-tier system. And the small guys, the small producers, the boutique winemakers can't compete. They can't get representation out there with the distributors who are only interested in, much bigger wineries. So I came to, I knew a lot of my friends who were doing great wines, small productions. I said, hey, how about we get together, put a tasting room together, and we'll do all the direct marketing for you guys. Let's talk to the consumer directly. And so that's what we did.
Oh, that's great. Sorry, but before that, you and I mean, we're going back. I mean, you're definitely one of the first person I've met here in Napa Valley as when I used to work at Medwood with Roy Bremen. You were in the kitchen, and you are an incredible pastry chef. So Whatever happened to those skills here? I mean, something that you lost. Are you still practicing a little bit?
Well, I'm sure that my kids would like me to, to use my skills a little bit more often, But I still do it. And if I do a big party with some friends, maybe one of these days when we do a big cookout here, I'll, do something. But it's very nice of you to say that I'm such a great pastry chef. I had fond memories of my, over 15 years as a pastry chef. But the wine industry, has really stolen my heart. I love producing wine. I love talking to people. I couldn't do that when I was in the pastry shop.
And then also you went into the Thai business one point, no?
I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've always done things that made me happy, And obviously, the clothing industry, the garment industry makes me very happy. It makes a lot of people happy. So I was involved with that in a lot of different things in the 90s. Yeah.
That's outstanding. So you went into the wine business, and so how's the wine business really treating you nowadays? I mean, is there anything that really, really, really pisses you off? Tell me.
Well, it's just not enough, not enough wine for me. Essentially, I think I love good wines, and every time I've got new people coming through the doors with, there's not enough extraordinary wine. That's what I would say. I say. People, unfortunately, very often they get confused. They want to get into the wine business and they want to produce. They have big goals, big business plan. I'm going to create 100,000 cases in the next 10 years. We've lost a little bit of the artisanal. It's the same in the food business, restaurant. People need to focus, make great wines, and be passionate about it all the way. And so that's what's missing a little bit. But beside that, I couldn't even think of one thing that I hate. You give me millions of dollars tomorrow, and I will wake up and I'll get back to work and I love what I do.
I like a cup of gin and tonic before they sang this incredible program, and I just realized they didn't put any speed bucket on the table, so those guys would have to drink the fucking wine before they can before they can pour the next flight. So you better drink this.
Yeah, come on, guys, you can do it.
So you feel like I think the guy on the left, what was his name? David Bridges. I think he's turning red.
Yeah,
I mean, I just
you guys better drink the wine because I'm a French guy. I could get really mad if you don't drink the wine. You understand that, right? Feel free to have your own point of view, but don't say it's not good.
No, so you've been how many wineries you have represented right now at the Vintner Collectives?
We know when we opened we had about 10 wineries, and now we have approximately 18 plus a bunch of small ones in the works. A lot of small producers. We have one winery approximately every week who wants to come into the collective, and only 18 has made it in the last 10 years. So you can imagine we're very, very picky about who we let in the tasting room.
So what are you looking like? What kind of what is the typical profile of a winery joining your little harem?
Well, today's example is perfect because I brought two varietals of. I know you told me not to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Two varietals of the same 3 times, and the idea here is they're very unique. Okay, and so you can taste two varietals. From the same region, and you can be blindfolded. You'll know the difference. So they have to be extraordinary wines, and they also have to be very unique. The people behind the label have to be super nice. I don't want to have guys who are full of themselves and in the tasting room talking about themselves and forgetting that we're dealing every day with wonderful, passionate customers who just wants to have fun. So we don't lose track of that. But that's important for me. The quality, the vineyard source, the winemaker. Obviously is very, very important. There's a bunch of other criteria, but I won't go into it right now.
I think this table right now looks like a mess. We have 1 and 2 on the far left. We have 6 by itself. We have, I guess, 3 and 4 by Boris. Maybe 5 hanging out on top. I don't know what the hell is going on here.
Tasting is whatever drink he's drinking there, that liquor thing, that gin tonic, and he's writing notes about it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they've been saying this. That was Labor Day today. Did you do anything special?
I went to San Francisco yesterday and enjoyed myself, and today I spent it with my kids, which was important.
Sure. Your kids are showing any interest in the wine at this point?
My kids, they've always known me in the wine industry, and since they were kids, they used to go into the warehouse and write on every case of wine, this wine is great, this wine is good, this one is the best. So every time we'd send a case of wine to customers, they'd be like, "What's that?" "Oh, that's my kids." It's their little marketing strategy.
So, okay. And isn't it like, kind of infringing a little bit slave laboring, child labor, I mean? How old are the kids?
10, two girls, or 10, 11, excuse me, and 14. And really, honestly, they were climbing on cases of wine. They loved it. They were, having fun mostly.
I see. So I think so. Julie, this is the first time she's doing a show, and the intensity of the testing, is definitely present. You can touch it. You can,
She's really focused right now. Very, very focused.
She is very focused, but David Bridges is trying to distract her and to try to confuse her. Do you think she's going to be able to go through the 6 wines in a time?
Yeah, David, calm down a little bit. Your girlfriend's right here. Relax, okay? How is it the wine that's making you feel like this? I don't know.
So who knows? So she's here. She's really focusing. This is one number 6 she's going through. Boris, I don't know. He's like he's just. Hey, Boris, what do you do now? Okay, I know. So Boris is like, I think he's a little bit confused right now.
He's a Frenchman. He's looking very intense, and I think he's probably very knowledgeable about wine because he's French, obviously, right? If you're French, you're knowledgeable about wine. Well, at least that's the premise I've had for my whole life.
He's from Anjou. That's a very different.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing with French people, you would notice every time we talk about food and wine, certainly the accent become very strong because people think because we are French we know something. But yeah. Anyway, Boris, you look like you know your stuff. I'm impressed already.
That's the T-shirt. All right. You can be like tricked pretty easily, I think, my friend. So, and of course, the quiet power is David Bridges. He's going spanning this thing, and he knows a lot too. I mean, he can be like quite surprising, as a matter of fact. So here, the three panelists are going through the momentum, and we have about 5 minutes left into the flight.
Probably should be breaking it down a little bit, huh?
No. We get in there, and
any hints right now? You guys are not giving us any hints because all the glasses are drank at about the same level. I don't know. Tell me more. Come on, drink. Okay, we know something.
So, what was your favorite discovery ever at Vintner Collective? What was the best one you ever had at Vintner Collective?
Wow, that's very difficult. My favorite wine. Wow, like I said, 10 wine. We start with 10. We have 18 today. One winery every week. When I bring them in, they are all special. They have to be all extraordinary. So it depends year by every year. There's one wine that really pops out. There's sometimes wines just come out in a bottle and they start talking to you. And they really are expressive. So I don't know. It's hard to say which wine, but actually I brought one today. It's been one of my all-time favorites. So we'll see.
That was a very, very weak answer. What have you kicked out any winery out of Vintner Collectives?
We're kind of an incubators for wineries, small wineries. So in the old days when we opened, we had Patson Hall and Judd's Hill winery, and they moved down to open their own tasting room as well as Mason. So they opened their own tasting room. I'm very proud of that. There has been wineries where we're not as successful. The wine was great, but our customers, at one point you start to build a profile for our customer. They have a certain wine, it's type of wine they like, and so some people left. But usually all our wineries have been here since day one.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, on the panel, take it easy. No, all right. So this beautiful building you are into, how many, you have 18 wineries in it, and this is a historical landmark, isn't it?
Yes, that the building that we're in is a national landmark. It was built in 1875 as a brewery, the largest brewery west of the Mississippi at that time, because you had a bunch of buildings around it, which burned down at one point. And whatever was left became a saloon in about 1885, and we had a bordello on top, and so it's very eclectic what's happened over the years. But it's an amazing building. And the karma inside that building is extraordinary. You must see it. You have to, if you have never seen it, come to 1245 Main Street and visit Vintner's Collective.
One more question, and I think those guys are pretty much done. Do you need any reservation? You need to call first, or what? How does it work? Or just walking?
We would prefer, if you want to have a little bit more of a quiet time, call in advance. Tell us how many of you are coming, and we can set up something very special. Just let us know. The phone number is 707-255-7150, and the website is vintnerscollective.com or vcnv.com.
Jesus Christ, a lot of things to remember, guys. You're gonna have to look at the video and to get all those numbers here. All right, so I think everybody is done. Garret, you're gonna sit nearby David, and I'm gonna get all those numbers here, and I'm gonna sit down. Yeah, please.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. Hey, it's working. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, Carl. How are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy, I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Carl Tiedemann. Carl is joining us directly from Indiana, Indiana, and he recently got into the wine business and has his own distribution company in Indiana. And Carl is going to be a big part of ToutSuite, joining us for like various tastings and things like that. And wanted to join us today. And I can see like you're in a good shape. You haven't drank too much. That's a good thing.
No. I'm actually drinking a wine that you got me a long time ago, the Bouchetta, the 2004. Pretty good.
Boucher.
Yeah.
Beautiful wine.
Yeah.
That's Carl, just so you know, the Boucher is made by Tim Boucher, and
Yes.
that's my son's godfather.
Oh, no kidding.
No
Well,
kidding. Fantastic wine. I believe that's the 2000.
no,
Is
it's the
that true?
2004. It's great.
So that's okay. So that's the Soda Canyon Vineyard. Great bottle of wine.
Yes,
Great
it
bottle.
is.
So let's go back to the tasting, ladies and gentlemen. So overall, what do you think about the tasting one at a time? I'm going to start with you.
I kind of expected, Garret, you being a Frenchman, would bring me dirty wines.
I did bring a
bunch of dirty wines
That's true.
here for us to try.
Yeah.
Non-traditional varieties.
Yeah, good point.
I'll say that right off the bat. I'm going to say that 2 and 4 were the same producer. Only because I can say it and no one will remember if I'm an idiot. But if I'm right, I will remind everyone for years.
Well, I did bring a unusual varietal for Napa Valley, because Napa Valley is a big Cabernet producing.
We didn't touch. There wasn't a Cabernet in the lot.
That's right, there was not, and I decided not to bring it because I thought everybody would expect me to bring that, and so I brought some other stuff.
And I'm going to guess that there wasn't a wine here that was produced in Napa Valley.
Well, actually, it was. Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
More than one?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's area in Napa Valley that are so people don't expect the kind of old world aromatics that can come from there because they're cooler region, and that's what's tricking you right now.
Terrific. I mean, what a terrific mix here.
Thank you very much.
Because this was a total non-traditional Napa Valley tasting.
Right.
Very much one to be enjoyed. But I'm going to guess that our wines.
Didier needs some help with doing the math.
Yeah, Didier is doing the math. Hold on. I think everybody be very quiet. Very quiet.
Brain seizure coming up.
Hey, he had a stroke last time he did this. It's not funny. Yeah. His right hand is working again now.
Yeah.
But I think that the wines that you brought here, a couple of them really showed some wine making.
Yes.
Some wine making. Yeah. You know, 2 and 4, or I'm going to guess, are of the same. I
think you'll notice this
lineage.
in most of the wines that we have at Vintner's Collective. They're very centric with the terroir, which it doesn't always produce a European type of wine. In the contrary, it actually produces something that represents that region in California where it comes from. And I think that's what happens here. You have a lot of the earth that's speaking in that wine. The winemaker is trying to get that to come to the front versus sometimes people want their own style to come in, and there's a little bit of style, but the interesting thing is the same winemaker produced two of these wines, and they're completely different stylistically.
Hey, you said earlier on that one of these wines is a longtime favorite of yours.
Yes.
And was that in our first flight of wines, or was it in our second flight of wines?
It was in the second flight of wines.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, please, Julie, speak up.
Sure.
I can talk all night because that's what I do.
Well, I'm glad because I actually on my 2 and 4 I wrote odd, so I think they were both sort of a little bit different, and
2 and 4.
so I think you said that you thought 2 and 4 were from the same.
I thought they were saying.
All right.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of.
Actually, let's go back to two. Let's go back.
Idiot. Could you let somebody else for a moment?
No. This is like we go back to like one number 4 and the one number 6.
You're new to this.
You're not going to trust his math, are you?
No. We're not going to trust his math. 4 and 6. 4 and 6. Okay. We have so we're okay. So we're trying to find a winner.
Oh, we have to retry it again?
Well, no, we retried them. So don't look at your
4
old.
will be this one then.
Don't look at your old scores. You're going to get.
Can we have a 0.6?
Well, we have.
So Julie, keep going.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what do you think of the wine in general? Was it like a good
It was
experience?
it was a fantastic mix, and I like that. I'm a big Pinot Noir fan, and number 1 was my favorite immediately.
Number 1?
Yeah, number 1. That stood out to me. And I like a smoky wine, number 5. Immediately when I smelled that, I got the smoke out of it. So yeah, it was good stuff. It was very different, and
Number 5 is not only smoky, but it has also
Lots of spice.
lots of spices. They're much more complex than what you would expect from this varietal.
yeah.
I put like a question mark on number 5. I think there's a bunch of Pinot Noir thinking that testing, but I put a question mark at Spanish on number 5. I find it to be very like a lot of like pure spice, almost like mineral, very very clean, lighter body. Perfect wine to match with like.
I think the Spanish guess is beautiful because I think we have seen some Tempranillo.
Okay.
I'm let's say we're seeing Tempranillo.
Okay.
Okay, so
To start with, let's reveal the lowest. We have to come back to one number 4 and one number 6 to decide.
so we share.
Those were
because
the top?
the two guys, you two guys, no, David, you liked it. That was your highest score.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6.
That was your highest score, and Boris and Julie didn't like. I mean.
No,
like
I mean, I gave anywhere between 18 for number 4 to 13, 12 actually. Number 2 was for me. I mean, I don't want maybe to talk about number 2 right now, but number 2 was probably my least favorite, just because the style sounds to be a lot more gamey, touch more earthy, like more. Touch more old school in many ways. I mean, I know there's a palette for it, which I don't really have myself, even if I'm French.
Yeah.
And number 6, I did like it though.
Susan, because she's
Yes, Susan, you want to say something? I'm sorry. So number 2, that was number 2. But I did like number 6. Actually, I get 13.
I think two and slowly.
That was too much work. I'm sitting down again. It's too much. I got to take a drink.
Hey, Garret is new here at ToutSuite in the.
Yeah, I know, guys. Listen.
The undressing is slow.
Let's reveal one number 2 here. So one number 2 was the latest with the less score, and that was from a Longfellow.
Sonoma.
So yeah, it's a Pinot Noir, and Longfellow, is made. You remember I was telling you there's a producer here who created 2 of these wines.
That's one of the 2.
That's one of the 2.
And the other one's number 4.
Yes. And what happened is he created two wines that are completely different in style, even though they seem to have something in common. But that one is very feminine in style, and
Why?
Usually Rolando Arena who makes that wine is usually a guy who likes to have a big angular bones and it's macho. The wines he makes are beautifully integrated, but they have they're macho wines. This one he makes really it's fleshy, it's ripe, but it's Sonoma Coast.
You know, and so it's got nice acidity. Oh, that's probably it. Most of these wines are in this 300 case production or less.
How much will you pay for this one?
$4.99. I didn't like that one at all. I think it's
What's the question?
How much will you pay for this one?
I would think that's like a $30 bottle. No.
How much will you pay for this one? 20.
Okay. Boy, it's about $40. You get all these high rollers here. I didn't. That was my least favorite wine of the whole lot.
The great thing about these wines is the way you asked me who's coming into Vintner Collective, they have to have no flaws. None of these wines have any flaws, but they all have a personality. And so they didn't. This was maybe not something that you guys really connected with, but I found that there's a lot of people who enjoy that.
Garret, I tell you, this wine is in the whole style of French Burgundy. Mm-hmm. It's dirty, it's earthy, it's got that mushroom.
Right, it does. You're right.
Friggin' funky character.
Oh, you do it yourself? I do it myself. Okay. All right, so next one, let's keep moving. Next one we're going to reveal is the number 5 wine. Is wine number 3. One number 3. It's like pretty tight. That was a 14 from Julie, David 14, and Boris 13. Thank you. Don't plug plus. Anyway.
I did a plug.
What was the consensus on this one here?
I thought it was actually very nice. I mean, for me, 13 plus actually a good score. I mean, if anything past 10 is definitely worth planning. I saw that the wine had a lot of incense, like church.
Mm-hmm.
Incense, very bright, acid, and very floral. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was, again, a very nice wine.
What kind of varietal was it? What? The varietal.
I would guess, if I had to guess, okay, I wasn't sure now. Because for the I would say it was Pinot Noir, but I almost got a question if it was like a Syrah because of some of the characters.
So you know what? It's exactly what you would. If you're going to be confused, you're going to think that way because that Syrah is very much it's more like a Vaqueras than you would expect.
Yeah.
It's intense and it's very European style. So the licorice from the Cumsville region, anise almost, that's the floral thing you were thinking of. But
it is. They want to show it now. We drink.
Syrah. So it's a Syrah.
Yeah. See, that's funny because for me, like it's very elegant Syrah, definitely. But yeah, that's what's funny because for me, when I first tasted the first one, I think it's a Pinot Noir. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Second one, and then this one, I was like, you know what? That almost tastes like it's a Syrah, although it's very bright acid, very driven.
Boris, you would think there was actually Viognier in it.
Yeah, I mean, it
has a sort of a floral,
but it still has for me like all the ends, and that's kind of what kicked in at me. That it's probably a Syrah.
This is one of my favorite wines I've opened Vintner Collective. This speaks to me, but I've never brought in wine at Vintner Collective thinking it has to be what I like. I've always brought wine thinking of course.
Hey, do you want to Vintner Collective?
Yes.
Okay, then why don't you bring in wine you like?
Well, because I serve my clients. I have to hear what they want.
This was my second favorite wine of the flight. I think it was
we've done fantastically with this wine.
Fantastic. You know why? Because it had a broad. It was broad across your palate. It had a lot of flavor, a lot of tobacco, a lot of everything. And when we talked earlier on about Tempranillo, I was a little bit around the park here about what this wine might be. I wrote down that this is a Syrah. Yeah. But I could have been anywhere. Yeah. I could have been anywhere, but
certainly very European.
All right.
What a beautiful
Let's keep moving. Julie, so you like this wine? In general? Do you like the Richard Perry?
Oh yeah, I did. I wrote it was nice and hearty. I liked that one.
Cool. So all right, now let's reveal wine number. Okay, we're going back to 4 and wine number 6. And I'm gonna say, have you had the opportunity of tasting those wines again?
No, man.
Are you changing your notes? You all have your notes in front of you.
So which one?
Right here.
4 and 6.
Right there.
4 and 6.
I mean, for me, 4 is just beautiful. So that's my favorite wine of 4.
That has been your favorite wine, for sure.
I keep it the same. I mean, 6 seems to have opened up a little bit more than it was. Mm-hmm. but 4 is just like
So you want to change the score on 6 or not?
I would probably like. I mean, it's again. The thing is like.
Come on.
No,
Yes or
wait,
no?
but Didier. Okay, let's make something very obvious.
From the south of France, is there?
No, but I mean, okay, I come from a background which is French, where you give 10 to something that's good, 12 to something that's really good.
Yeah.
It's not like okay, like if you don't need to get like
I
16
think
in order
stick your
to
gun.
get.
Stick
Hey,
to
Boris,
No, but what I'm saying that
First
it's,
instinct. Thanks.
but the 13 is a good, 13 is a B plus.
Okay.
Okay, listen,
So
with all that,
okay, Boris, enough. You changing your...
I'm not changing any scores, but I'll tell you what, if number 2 is a Longfellow, number 4 is a Longfellow.
So are you changing your score on that?
Can we find out from everyone in this table what varietal you think number 4 is? Because now you've had a Pinot and you've had a Syrah. What's the varietal? If you can guess.
And that's I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously cannot tell you because it's riper. And it's got a lot of, it's got like tomate confit.
We got it.
Kind of
Number 4 is a Syrah.
What?
Number
Julie.
4 is a
I have no
Syrah.
idea.
Hey guys, you guys are talking too much. Julie.
I have no clue. There's
No?
just something very floral and cool.
So you guys are keeping some score. What I'm interested in knowing like is which one I'm gonna reveal first. I'm gonna reveal number 4, number 6. So any of you guys want to change your score on number 1? No, okay, you said no. Okay, that's fine.
These wines, both of these wines. Okay, how about this? We've talked about 3 wines so far. Well, we've only tasted. My top 3 wines we've talked about. These are fantastic. This is a beautiful wine. Number 4. I'm going to say this is a Syrah. This is
I don't care about that. That's not the.
Let me talk to Steph. I mean, this is American.
Let's keep moving here.
This is a beautiful wine. Like it's got some tar. It's got tar going on into it. There's some depth of flavor.
Totally does.
This is a freaking
So
really.
give it like a better score.
This is a really well made wine.
Give a better score.
I'm not going to give it a better score. I scored it well. This is one of my favorite wines.
This is the whole really.
This is a terrific
you're
wine.
all American.
Cigar box.
In the way you answer
tobacco, tar.
I'm not surprised at
freaking delicious. This wine's delicious. This wine is delicious.
So I have to tell you, I'm not surprised as to what you like. This is what it's all American. In the way it's presented, the way
It's a beautifully
But
made
you
wine.
know what's the most biggest surprise? I think we can show
It's not from
up.
America.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's a Syrah and it's Rolando Herrera.
Oh, yeah,
He made
yeah,
that
yeah,
wine
yeah,
his
yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
He made your favorite. Yeah, but that's made in much more masculine.
Because I mean I remember
Cruiseville fruit.
Yeah, Cruiseville, correct.
Okay. So it just shows you how amazingly different a same winemaker can produce two wines.
Yeah.
Pardon me for 1 second, but earlier on, I'd like to remind everyone out there in the world that I said number 2 and number 4 were made by the same guy. And you know what? And they were. And 4 is a freaking beautiful representation of Syrah.
Yep.
And 2 was a representation of Pinot Noir, made like a Syrah. And which how about this? People love it. Everybody has their own taste. But I'll tell you what, that's a very well made wine.
Great.
Very well made.
Okay, and number 3 then is Lamborn. Talk to us about this one here.
Well,
Number 3?
Yeah.
so
No. Number 3?
Yes. That was tight.
Yeah.
So
No. What's the
What
number?
about 6?
What's the
Where we
number?
on 6?
What's the number that was on the bag?
Jesus Christ.
That was number 6.
That's the number on the back.
official
That's
video.
number 6.
Okay, this is number 6.
it's
Yeah.
number 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's number 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. This is freaking color.
Okay, so what is it now?
Lamborn.
Okay, yeah.
So Lamborn is made by Heidi Barrett. No wonder everybody liked it. But I brought 2 Zinfandel today. There were going to be very big spectrum between the 2 of them. You know, we're talking about 2 wines made on Owl Mountain, right next to each other. I mean, the vineyards are really close to each other, between 1,800, 2,000 feet above sea level. And I tell you one thing, they are so different, very stylistically. This is pure, again, we're right back to California, Napa Valley style, big fruit, very mature. Obviously, our mountain is speaking with this wine. It's a really, Heidi Barrett is she's an extraordinary winemaker. Everybody gravitates toward this, unless you're somebody who likes a little bit more complexity. Not to say anything, all my wines are extraordinary, but the next Zinfandel for me, has much more to say sometimes in a sort of very intricate spices.
What's the alcohol content on this one? Because
it's pretty high. It's highly balanced, you know?
15.5.
I hope I did.
That's what really, for me when I liked it, and that's actually the only thing I would say about it. That I mean, I think 30 points is actually good, but it was a touch too very ripe fruit and touch too hot. But I'm not a big Zinfandel drinker because obviously it's something I never drink before.
Okay, I put that this is either light Zin, Chardonnay.
Dark rosé.
Chardonnay, really dark Chardonnay. So I actually put here that this was a Zin, light Zin, or a crazy ripe Pinot. And, this was my favorite wine. This was my favorite wine. I find subtlety in there.
Can I retry number one? Mm-hmm. Before we so that was another one I really liked.
So all right, so let's keep moving. Hey Carl.
Yo.
Are you familiar with any of those wines that we talked about at this point?
I think the one Garrett just put down, I'm familiar with. Yes.
Lamborn.
Yes.
Lamborn has been doing been on top of our mountain for I think 30 years or more, 35 years.
Right.
And Heidi Baird's been making the wine for 20 years, I think, right? And I remember the 90s when I used to be I just started in the wine business. I used to go to the shows such as in Mason, the show with the Zen something. Zap. And my God, everybody gravitated toward this wine, and I was always thinking, man, if only one day, I could have them at tasting room. I just love them because of the history behind it and the incredibly kind people behind the wine. It's a beautiful wine. The people behind the wines are even more beautiful. Actually, everyone that I presented here are a great friend of mine. Are just amazing.
I mean, just for the viewers, do you mind telling us more about the pricing and everything, so they got an idea of what the?
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to go. I'm going to do a recap before we open the next one. All right. So far the least favorite, and because we need to have a least favorite. Number 6. This is the Longfellow. Longfellow. This is the 2009 Pinot Noir from Sonoma Coast, and the price point of this one was
approximately 40. I have to tell you guys, when I bring people into Vintner Collective, I'm not interested in the price point. I'm not interested in their points and scores with Parker. So very often I have no answers for it because I don't know what price they are, and I don't care. I want a great wine. Most of my customers don't care neither. So I'm very often not.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers. We don't care either.
Exactly. I don't want to. The prices for me, I just don't represent the wine. But I'm going to guess that's about 40. That's about 48 maybe this one.
Okay, the wine number 5 was the Richard Perry, the 2006 Syrah from the Perry Vineyard. And what was the price point on that?
Approximately 48.
$40?
Yeah.
48?
48, yeah.
That was
48.
In front of camera, TDF, right there.
20.
All right. Take it easy.
Yeah, that wasn't that. By the way,
you guys.
Hey, for our viewers out there, this is not wine number 5 because we still haven't. Listen, Didier has a problem with math.
All right.
This is not wine number 5.
4 was Miss Sueño.
One number 5 is right here.
Wine number 5 is still right here.
That's a release of it.
The Miss Sueño was wine number 4.
The Syrah 2007 Miss Sueño and about 200 cases of this one made.
Water next time.
And that's about what?
It's
about what?
It's about $40 some. $40
or so. So far, all $40. Then
Garrett, how many do you have? Garrett, do you have all of these wines at your place, or did you just bring these?
We are a multi-winery tasting room, so we have.
Yes, I've been there.
We rent space there. Yes, they rent space at Vintner Collective. Yes.
But Carl, if you wanted, Garrett could ship these to you tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a distributor.
I think we've already done the retinal scan of your eyes right now. I've got your credit card.
Okay.
Good.
Well, good. If you got my credit card, why don't you handle my wines? So.
Sure, Carl. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you're in Indiana?
Correct.
You are in Indiana?
Yes, I'm in Indiana.
Okay, cool.
Vienna.
All right, then next was the Lambert family, Zinfandel 2009, the abundant vintage,
Again, we're in the 40 zone.
and the 40 bones. Okay,
So,
40 bones.
Garret, you only bring the wine from the people that you kind of like represent at
That's it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So how many wines?
I don't know, maybe about 100 wines. And then I do little trials of wine that I bring in under their 1720 license, and I try them out and see how my customer like them.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe a year from now, if everything goes right, they become permanent. But that's how it works. So
But how does it work where people come to your tasting room? How many wines can they try?
they can try about 6 to 10 wines probably, depending on, if
So,
they're going to try tasting or
so
not.
does it work like a standard tasting room when they come and they got different options, like you try this, like 3 or 4 or 5?
I like to give my employees, a little bit of freedom to, they start with some wines, and then they see the customer reaction, and then go move into a certain direction.
Yeah.
We'll read first we'll ask questions and say, what do you like? And usually, and then we'll start the process of making sure it's not standard where they come in and here's the wines you're going to taste. Each of these individual making wine here want you, when you come to the tasting room, to taste the wine. So if you tell me that you know that wine and you love that wine, you want to taste it, my employees will be opening that wine for you. So
Now, you give your employees a certain amount of leeway and let them go.
Right.
Could you talk to my girlfriend?
I don't see them. Okay.
That's not possible. I know better than asking a woman.
All right, let's move on, guys. The next one going to be revealed was the number one. We tasted it.
Oh, it was great wine.
Give us a second. And as a matter of fact, David, that was one of your list. That was one of your least favorite. What was wrong with this one for you?
It was one of my least favorite wines. I'm going to say that this is a Carneros Pinot Noir. I find it a lighter bodied, appearance-wise, it was fine. Aroma, it just didn't. It had no nose to it. In the mouth, I found it very appealing, but there was no finish to it. This was a little too lean.
David, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a wine that I'm not surprised you don't love it as much because it's very.
Because I'm so simple.
It's ripe as a California wine, but it's very complex. It's ripe as a California wine, but it's complex as a European Burgundian wine, and it has a lot of minerality, acidity. And the nose, you have to really spend some time.
There was no time.
I mean, I gave it 5 out of 6.
Yeah, that's exactly true. There was no time, and
there's no nose. That's one of the lowest scores. That's what killed it.
How about you, Julie?
I loved it. I thought it was lovely and elegant, and I'm a Pinot girl, and I really that one immediately struck me. So if I was going to choose any of them, just because I'm more on the delicate wine.
Hey, Carl, I'm going to probably be voted off the island tonight.
I can see you're not doing too well there. I think you're.
What about you, Boris?
I gave it 17 out of 20, which I think is a tremendous
I
score.
did too. Look at that.
I was surprised because actually I came back and I actually gave it 15 at first.
Right.
Then once you try everything, you try to leverage with regard to what you brought, And I just thought it was very, very nice. A lot of clove and spice and bright fruit, very elegant. I thought he had the right balance. Right here. I thought he had the right balance of mouthfeel and acid, like ripe fruit and at the same time some good acid. I just thought it was beautiful. And I will pay $50-something for it.
Oh, God. Very cool.
Carl. For your, this is called La Bonitas,
but I'm not cheap.
And this is a 2010 Pinot Noir. And tell us a little bit more about this one, Yakut.
Well, I didn't want to tell anyone because and I didn't want anybody to be biased or anything, but it happens to be my wine. So this is made by Don Sir, because if I made it myself, no one would be able to drink it. Even though I love making wine, but I'm not very good at it. So Don Sir has been, pretty much a Pinot producer for a long time, and he's very focused and again, very Burgundian style. I like his wine. I've been doing the same wine for, maybe 5 years now. I think, Boris, you said it perfectly. I really, this is how I feel about this wine. It's a very food-friendly wine. It's very complex, and and elegant. Just as you were saying, I think it appeals to a broad aspect of people. We've been very successful with this wine, and this is my beautiful daughters with their blonde hair and the little abstract painting that my wife did.
So what? Sonoma Coast, Las Bonitas. I'm not familiar with what's the location.
So it's not far from Sebastopol.
Okay.
Okay. The interesting part, by the way, I brought two wines that are pretty close to each other in Sonoma Coast, and you guys,
you know what's funny?
do you imagine how different they were?
I mean, but you know what? I mean, I don't want to sound kind of like a wine geek, but late. Yeah, thank you. But I thought the treatment of the barrel probably or something was different on the number two, the Longfellow.
Sure.
Again, it's my style. I love the number one.
But am I wrong? You could be blindfolded, and we can come back tomorrow, and you'll pick those two, no problem.
No, how about this? Right? Let me tell you this: the Las Bonitas is much cleaner. The fruit is is much cleaner than the other.
Gamey or
It didn't have the gaminess. And again, I think you alluded to it a little bit about being a barrel treatment or the winemaker treatment. The Longfellow came in with that little rubberiness, which sometimes is a little over toasting of oak. That's beautiful wine.
Thank you.
Beautiful
wine. All right, and let's reveal the winner.
What's the price?
The Spino's 48. So I brought you guys.
But wait, but what's the price for the new friend?
For friends.
Yeah, better price.
All right, and the winner of the
wait, how about this? This is a Zin. This is number 5. This is also a Zinfandel. Number 5 is a Zin.
It is. It's a good wine too. Yeah,
it's a good one. Hey, you didn't bring a bad wine.
Yes,
you didn't bring a bad wine.
Thank you.
And it's kind of oftentimes unfair when we pair these off against one another.
They're all extraordinary wine. It's hard when you say Longfellow is not
delicious.
Can I ask a question to Carl? Yeah. Hey, Carl, I've got a question for you. So so I understand you work in the wine industry over there, correct?
Yes.
So what? I'm assuming you sell some wine from Napa. Which you do, correct?
Yes.
What's the ratio of what you sell? I mean, most people know Napa for Cabernet Sauvignon. Obviously, none of them are Cabernet-based wines. So what's the market? I mean, honestly, these are very nice wines, but it's easy for me to tell you that from speaking over video webcam. But what's the market that you see for that type of wine in the Midwest where you live?
Okay, Carl, all you answer here, because I want to finish. No, I'm seriously. I want to finish with this here, so then we can have a conversation like that, okay? But let's finish up with the tasting.
Because Boris is just fishing for his own business.
Yeah.
I'm interested because these are very nice wines.
Boris.
Definitely.
Right. This is a big cube. So this is a big cube, and this is 2007.
Ah, that's why.
So this is like a little age on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
2007, the cube, very well-known label for people who enjoy Zinfandel. And this is the Hal Mountain.
Sorry, because what's the alcohol content on this one?
It's low though. 14. This is low for Zin though.
Yeah.
That's a low Zin.
To be very.
That's a low Zin.
I put very clean. And actually lighter body, which I thought.
Again, I brought two wines, two Zinfandel from our mountain, and they're very close, same altitude, almost very close to each other.
But different, baby.
I mean, you look at that, unbelievable.
Baby.
A month from now, I can bring you back and I know which one is which one because they're so individual, so unique.
But that's great because I'm glad you brought 07 because a lot of people drink Zinfandel because it's super juicy, almost jammy fruit, very ripe in your face type of wine. But they actually age really well. And that's a perfect example of, for me, as I said, we both thought that it was actually probably a Tempranillo or something European style.
And the minerality, right? About that. You don't expect that from a Zinfandel because people always think it's going to be big and jammy and peppery. And look at that. And you got cardamom and cumin and extraordinary
awesome.
spices that just move you.
Some stew.
You can, right? I mean, you can think of that
I don't know,
wine
I've
with
tried
a
it.
million different dishes.
Hey, just for the folks out there in the ToutSuite world, this wine moved the French guys. It didn't move me.
Orgasmic, I said.
It was good.
Is that okay to say?
It was good, but it didn't move me.
Because you like all American, and obviously this is what
No,
you like.
how about this? I like good flavor.
Wait a minute, it's not derogative. I love all American. They wouldn't be on my plate.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I just think they both have their place.
Let's try to have a handle this thing here in a little bit. Okay.
I did.
Calm down. Calm down.
I did. I did think.
Calm down.
The boss is back.
Calm down.
I did think we were
Calm
going.
down.
I did think we were going to Tempranillo.
Yeah, because it was
for me, it's almost like too light to be.
All right, Julie, what do you think of it?
I liked it. It had a smokiness to it.
That was your high score too.
Yeah, that was my second highest. I think that
Yeah,
the one
Yeah.
was my.
Why did you like it?
There was a nice smokiness to it, and everything makes sense.
Yeah.
But
And more.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was a lovely.
So all right, so
you get all like the spice.
I do.
Very
I
spicy,
definitely
but
get some
again,
spicy.
for me, I mean, if anybody think of people as being like overripe, super jammy, they should try that stuff.
That's beautiful. That's a really well made.
It's a great wine.
So
Okay.
it's Dwayne Dappen who makes that wine. David Dappen, that's why it's called D-Cube. And I find him to, he's been a really good friend of mine for a decade now.
Great stuff.
I've idolized him as well as the Lenborn when in the 90s.
Mhm.
He focuses on making just a couple hundred cases. He's focused in Zinfandel. Go and look for him.
what's the price point on that?
$50?
This is a little bit less, but probably in the 40 again. I mean, 38 to 40.
Because he has two, right? He has also the Napa, the regular collection. He has Hard Mountain and he has a Napa.
Yes, he produces Zinfandel from a lot of different places.
So,
this is the Black Sears Vineyard.
oh yeah, okay.
Very famous
Yeah,
vineyard.
correct. So are these wines currently available on the market, or this one is not in the
You know,
market?
they're all tiny. As I said, they're 300 cases on average production. We sell probably half of all their production.
You don't sell
through
the 07
tasting
right now, correct?
Yeah, everything that's here is their vintages that they're showing off right now.
Okay.
Like the 06, right here, I just brought it. Where's the Syrah right here?
Yeah.
I brought the 06 because it's showing really well there. The 07 is available right now.
Yeah.
But sometimes certain vintages show better than others, and the 06 looks good. And that's why I brought those vintages or in the current, or depending on which one. The 2007
It's probably not.
there's 08 is an hour just coming out.
Okay.
All right, guys. So the big winner was the testing was the Big Cube.
Wow.
2007 by $40. Next one was the Las Bonitas Pinot Noir. Congratulations.
Thank you
It's
very
funny,
much.
like a couple of people have brought up the on wines and all those wines be like doing very well. I mean, it's kind of gutsy to bring the wines.
Who did it too?
I'll tell you later.
Oh,
But,
Trevor did.
Whatever. Like a lot of people. No.
Boris, excuse me, it's my time right now.
So anyway, we still have about like 5 minutes left into the program here, and Carl, if you remember the question from Boris, can you answer that? About
sure.
what kind of wine and the kind of price point are selling pretty well in Indiana?
Well, the market, this is a blue collar. We actually have two distinct markets here. We're in northern Indiana, right about 15 miles from South Bend in the University of Notre Dame. Everybody knows where that's at.
Yeah.
So the South Bend market has more of a fine dining market. Elkhart has more of a blue collar market. So the wines that are selling here right now are price points less than $30, and they're going now about $20, $25, and $30 a bottle. Cabernets are still the big seller. Chardonnays and Sauvignon Blancs are the big white sellers now, and I think the Sauvignon Blanc is gaining ground in this market right now. But Cabernets are still the big seller at in a price point of about $20 or $25 and less. So
Hey, Carl, that's not uncommon to your price points, just because not just the world market, but the world economy has hit us all.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, if you want to match wines with food, my two top wines with food, one of them is the Zinfandel, which is unusual. You know, generally Zinfandel isn't considered a huge food wine. Yeah. It's that, and then my number and my other is the La Bonitas Pinot for food, and so. That's where everybody needs to. I think. Listen, it isn't all about just like sitting around drinking wine. It's about like throwing something on the grill and then eating it and drinking and carrying on. Because that's what Boris loves to do.
Sometimes we talk about wine. It's extraordinary. It's like a painting, and you like got to stop sometimes because you have to really. Like food, you don't sit down in a restaurant, you don't start talking about, where the rosemary came from and what kind of root was planted with the rosemary. You gotta sometimes take it easy and really start enjoying the friendship around you. Yeah. Because that's important. Conversation and the food you eat, right? I mean, it's important. But so, in a way, I understand that in Indiana and in your market, those things are, the Cabernets are very, successful in this price point. For us, obviously, we sell very small production and we sell directly to consumers, so it doesn't matter what the price point is. It has to be a great wine, great friend, and a great experience.
But the reason why I was asking, just kind of like finish on that subject, because I think these ones are beautiful. Your wine is great. You probably make what? Like how many cases do you make?
Oh, there was 120 cases.
Okay, so that's my point. These ones are great wines, but ultimately my only concern is that people like in other part of the country where obviously where Carl lives, for example, they're never going to get exposed to this type of wine because the customers are driven toward Cabernet, Chardonnay, and Sauvignon Blanc, and therefore they're not going to be. If you make 120 cases, you don't need people from Indiana to buy the wine.
Boris, you're not going to experience a French Laundry unless you come to Napa Valley, and that's how I see what we do. You have to travel to go.
That's a good answer because obviously that gives a reason to come in and try something different from what
I think that depends on the distributor. You can, our company is about boutique vineyards, and there are a lot of companies, the bigger chains in this market, the bigger distributors, they're selling wine to sell wine, and our company is not that way. It's much. We have small production companies like Sean Larkin and I make wine together, and Brian Nuss and I make wine together, and we've got old.
Hey Carl, how many cases of the Los Bonitas are you going to take?
Brian Nuss is one of my oldest friends. I love Brian Nuss. I'm so happy that you have him. He makes extraordinary wine. He's one of my winery at that's your space at Risk Creative.
Okay.
He's amazing.
Yes, I know.
One second, Carl. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. We're gonna stop the live stream. You stay on camera, Carl. The conversation could keep going, but we're gonna stop the live stream here. And I want to thank everyone for coming up. It's way too many hosts, I think, in this table here. So I think I'm gonna have to when I do my invite in the near future, I'm gonna have to review all that.
You said you wanted some good-looking people today.
Yeah,
with amazing part.
I think we have a communication. Very quickly again, number one wine was the Cube, 2007. 2007. Yeah. Number two was the Las Bonitas from my good friend Garret Murphy, right there. So you can get all those wines at the Vintner Collectives. The third was the Mi Sueño from Orlando Herrera.
With the Spanish accent. Even the French can do Spanish accent,
Right, especially the Basque.
Then the number. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Come on.
The Hal Mountain was also tight actually, so that was fine. 2009 Zinfandel.
But the Richard Perry. That's my own.
Okay, all right, we get it. The Richard Perry 2006 Syrah.
My number two.
And then the Longfellow. I like the name.
Me too. I like live it.
So So here it is. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. That was a rowdy, should I say, hour, and we're gonna keep going with Carl. Don't go anywhere, Carl. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And we're gonna have some little hamburgers going on.
Hamburger, American.
Happy Labor Day.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Thank you to the panel. Thank you to the panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you say? Do you work well already?
The Opera House. We love the Opera House.
I know. I bought a ticket for a friend. She went yesterday.
Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, thank you. Cheers. Santé.
The Canadian, the French.
Cheers. Au revoir.
Hey, Boris, santé.
Yeah.
Boris, santé.
Oh, hey, Yamas.
A pleasure.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a great time.
Carl is still with us, so you can keep the conversation with Carl.
You guys do like what?